North at about 35 miles per hour. Rodney, can we zoom in on here? I want to show you. Are we on max 1? Let's switch over.
We're on max traffic. Go ahead, Ella.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take you into the velocity to show you what's going on with this. This is the velocity, which means it's basically a function of the wind going towards and away from the radar. Rodney is now in, so let's zoom in. I want to show you this couplet. When you see green, which is wind away from the radar, and red, which is wind towards the radar, you get that tight couplet. That indicates rotation. We're seeing it in the Appalachia area of Morgan County. This is a strong rotation couplet that's going to cross State Route 29, moving north at about 25 or 30 miles per hour. Not a highly populated area. We're trying to get you to Street View to see exactly where this is. Appalachia Road, okay? So if you live in this area, you definitely need to be in your safe spot. This is to the north of Madison, to the north of Greshamville, just to the east of Elder, so northern Morgan County. And as you can see, Rodney, take us back just about 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes ago, this couplet was much more defined and much stronger as it crossed through the Madison area. And as you can see just now, just in the next few minutes, it has weakened, but it's still possibly a tornado on the ground in Morgan County. You can see that's where it was the heaviest, right?
Yeah, without question.
Yeah, you and I were talking about this. We were out in the newsroom saying, I think they're going to warn this because we've seen this all morning. We've seen about 5, 6, or even 7 quick spin up tornadoes. They touch the ground. They break down some trees. We've had multiple damage reports. Each of them, in fact, has had damage reports. And then they're gone. And that's what we see. It's very typical within these tropical systems. So again, Bostwick, it is in your area in about 3 minutes. North High Shoals, it will be in your area at 8:40. And then Statham area, it will be in your area just before 9 a.m. if it holds together. I doubt it will hold together that long, but either way, if you live in Bostwick, you definitely need to be in your safe spot. This is moving through northern Morgan County, potentially into the eastern side of Oconee County. Again, tornado warning out. Looks like the biggest area of rotation right now is in the Appalachia area. This is the velocity. So this is winds going away and towards the radar. When you see that couplet close together, that indicates rotation. Let's switch over to correlation coefficient. This is another product that we have within the radar. Really helps us see a debris ball. So if you see yellows and greens and reds, that indicates to me a debris ball, or things like leaves or bigger objects than raindrops flying around in the air. Not seeing a major debris ball, but you see this area of lighter red? That is a very, very small debris ball that may be on the ground. So again, let's take this back and see if we can see a more defined debris ball just in the last 10 minutes. Just a little bit of a more defined one. So again, still some rotation in northern, looks like it was right on the border, yep, of Morgan and Oconee County, State Route 29, moving north at about 20 or 25 miles per hour. And this whole area is under a tornado watch until 1 p.m. today. So this is within the inner bands of Tropical Depression Fred that are now moving through our area, bringing heavy rain, but also bringing the spinning in the atmosphere, okay? And that's what we're seeing. We've seen it all morning. We had our first tornado warning in our viewing area at 4:45 a.m. It is now 8:30, and we're still seeing the tornado warnings. Again, it's the eastern half of the state that is under that tornado watch until 1 p.m. So from Atlanta and Metro off to the east, but it's really this line right here. It's this band of heavy rain that has been spawning these tornadoes all morning. Now moving through Jackson County, now moving through Barrow County, up into Athens. Clark County, you're just seeing light rain now, but this band is going to move into your area, so you definitely need to be on high alert. Oglethorpe County as well. Again, Oconee County is in this tornado warning, the southern half of Oconee County, and just the eastern edge of Walton County as well. This does not include Monroe. If you live in Monroe, you are in the clear. Appalachia, it is right over your area. It looks like it's strengthening a little bit. Ronnie, tell me what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ella. So we saw a very strong signature here about 10 minutes ago, and then it looked like the signature weakened just a little bit. What we'll do is take you step by step, frame by frame on Pinpoint Radar. There's a little bit of weakening, but then over the last frame, Ella, what we're watching here, by the way, is the contrast, as Ella mentioned, between the green and the red. When you see those really bright colors start to form, that's our indication that the winds are picking up and that rotation is tightening, meaning a tornado is more likely. And I definitely think, Ella, the last frame shows strengthening with this.
So can we zoom out, Rodney, and kind of talk about this product a little bit more? Let's zoom all the way out so we can show where the radar is. It's down in Peachtree City. This is actually where the radar is located, okay? Green is wind going towards that radar. The red is wind going away from the radar. So winds are going like this, right? Okay? So that tells you when you see a couplet like this very close together, that indicates the rotation, right? So that's what we watch for. This is one of the biggest things. It's one of the biggest products that we look for to really indicate that there's rotation on the ground. And this has strengthened once again. There may be a tornado on the ground in the Appalachia area. Again, this is northern Walton County. This is going to move into the eastern edge of Oconee County. And we are going to be in wall-to-wall coverage until this tornado warning expires at 9 a.m. for the next 30 minutes. This is what Rodney's talking about. Wind going towards the radar and away. There's that couplet right there. And when you see that defined area, that means that you could see winds coming out of the cloud down to the ground with a possible tornado on the ground. State Route 29, Appalachia area. It is right over you. It is moving towards Bostwick, towards Farmington. And let's see. What is this? North High Shoals. You are also in this tornado warning, moving north at about 25 miles per hour. So Farmington to North High Shoals to Bostwick, you need to be in your safe spot now. A possible tornado on the ground in this area. Again, this is far east of downtown. Metro Atlanta, you are not under a tornado warning, but Metro Atlanta, you are under a tornado watch until 1 p.m., which means conditions are favorable for a tornado possibly in Metro Atlanta over the next 3, 4, possibly 5 hours. North High Shoals, it is going to be in your area in 10 minutes. Snows Mill in your area in about 15 minutes, and Caruthers Mill at 8:53 a.m. These are areas that this possible tornado could be affecting. Here's what we're talking about, the tornado watch. All right, it's from Metro Atlanta off to the east, down to the south. And I actually expect them to extend this and include the mountainous areas through the afternoon for the potential for brief spin-up tornadoes. If you live from Athens, this is the area we've seen the most activity today. Gosh, the National Weather Service nailed it. 5% chance of a tornado within 25 miles. So Gainesville to Athens, this includes parts of Newton, Walton County, down to Eatonton, but especially even up into the mountains, okay? Habersham County, Union County. You have the highest chance of seeing spin-up tornadoes. A lower chance across Metro, but I still think we could see a few spin-up tornadoes over the next hour or two. And again, this tornado possibly on the ground in northern Morgan County. It is now crossing the State Route 29, moving towards Bostwick. Let's zoom in, try to get you a street view. This is one of the coolest products that we can do. We can zoom all the way in, down to the roads to really give you an idea of where this tornado could be. It looks like it's moving along Appalachia Road, okay, towards the Bostwick area. So if you live in this part anywhere near here in Morgan County, you need to be in your safe spot now. Price Mill Road as well. Away from windows, lowest level of the house. Each of these brief tornadoes that we've seen over the last 6 or 7 hours has produced damage. Each of them, okay? So definitely something to keep in mind. I do want to check in on the National Weather Service chat really quickly, Rodney. Talk to me about what you're seeing.
Yeah, so that rotation that you're seeing, Ella, as you mentioned, in some of the last few frames, the rotation is definitely tighter. And I think it's very important to stress that with the rotations that we have seen so far this morning, we've actually had plenty of damage. So that means that it's likely that this one could be producing damage as well. So for those of you in the path of this particular tornado warning, we can't stress enough how dangerous this situation is for you as this continues to move toward the northwest at about 35 miles per hour. You definitely need to get to shelter. As we have said all morning long with these tornado warnings, just turn the TV all the way up, or if you're on your phone, turn that all the way up, get away from windows, get to the lowest level of your floor as this continues to move toward the north and west, because Ella, a very strong radar signature here, and we've already had a history of damage this morning.
Right, and you can actually see the way that this is moving to the north and east. Around low pressure systems, which this tropical depression Fred is a low pressure system's winds flow counterclockwise. The center of that low is to the east of Atlanta, so the winds are moving around in kind of a counterclockwise direction around Atlanta. And so this is actually going to spin. It's going to go through the eastern edge of Oconee County and then eventually potentially into Barrow County in the Winder area. If you live anywhere along here, you definitely need to be on high alert. This, again, is about to cross out of Morgan County and move into the eastern edge of Oconee County. And Rodney, I am still seeing a very defined signature within this.
Yeah, that worries me, Ella, because even with the damage from earlier, these signatures have been pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
Only about 5 minutes or so, they get stronger, then they go away. This is by far the longest that we have seen this strong signature this morning. So that not only concerns me about the warning that we're tracking right now, but whatever else may come after it, this certainly has a little bit more steam to it than some of the stuff that we've seen this morning.
And the other problem is this is going to be a rain-wrapped tornado. If it is on the ground, you're not going to be able to see it because it is raining very heavily in the hour. If we can get back on, yep, this is the radar loop. You can see it is it's torrential downpours potentially around this tornado, which is now going to move into the North High Shoals area. This is right on the border between Morgan County and Oconee County, the Bostwick area, the Bishop area, but especially the North High Shoals area. Bostwick High Shoals Road, Price Mill Road. This is where this potential tornado is on the ground. Probably trees coming down in the area, okay? Definitely need to be in your safe spot if you live in North High Shoals. And based on what I'm seeing, they probably, if this continues to be such a defined signature, will extend this warning north, potentially into Barrow County. So again, right now, the signature is just to the east of the Bostwick area. It's right along the Oconee and Morgan County line to the west of Farmington, moving towards High Shoals. And like Rodney said, through the morning, we've seen these touch down, and then 5 minutes later, they're completely gone. This one has maintained its strength. It's actually gotten a little bit stronger here over the last 15 minutes. For that reason, I do think that there probably is damage occurring within this storm. Let's track it again for you. North High Shoals, it will be in your area in 3 minutes. You need to be in your safe spot, away from windows, lowest level of the house, okay? Snows Mill in your area in about 8 minutes. In Statham, it will be in your area at 9 a.m. And that is when the tornado warning expires. But again, this storm moving north at about 30 miles per hour will move out of this tornado warning. They may extend it into Barrow County, maybe even into Jackson County. We will watch for that. Right now, again, tornado warning out, northern Morgan County. Let's zoom out, Rodney. I want to show which areas are now in the clear from this storm system. If you live in Madison, you are in the clear, okay? So you're still in the tornado warning, but it is now north of you. Social Circle, you're well to the west of this potential tornado. Athens, it looks like this is actually going to move to the north and east. So Athens, you should be in the clear as well. It's more the Winder area that I'm more concerned of. Ronnie, can we do more of a extended track, potential track for this storm? Again, if it holds together, let's track it all the way up into Barrow County and see what we got going on here.
If this were to hold together.
If this were to hold together, Bethlehem, it would be in your area at 9:05, 9:10 in Winder, and Brazelton at 9:24. So then by that time, it would be getting close to I-85.
Ella, as we continue to track this tornado warning, I do briefly want to bring up some more breaking news. You can actually see this on the right-hand side of your screen. We have to get to this. Gwinnett County, there's some pretty significant flooding happening right now.
Wow.
On I-85 southbound, right before you hit Jimmy Carter. You can see that to the right of Ella. So if you are watching or listening in Gwinnett County and you're trying to go southbound on I-85, that's some pretty significant flooding in some of those right-hand lanes. So a heads up, that's closer to home in Gwinnett County as we continue to track this tornado warning, Ella, in Morgan, Oconee, and Walton counties.
And all of North Georgia is under a flash flood watch until the tomorrow morning. But the heavy rain, even when it moves out after the time that you eat lunch, we could continue to see flash flooding. Just because of the runoff. So right now, and we've been talking about this all morning, Rodney, we told you that the morning hours and the morning commute was going to be the worst. It looks really bad there. I-85 south at Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Looks like almost all of the lanes are completely blocked. Only really the left-hand lane is getting by. Big slowdowns, major pooling on the roadways, and there's probably scenes like this all over Metro Atlanta. This morning. Good. We're going to take that
Yeah, take that full.
Wow.
We actually had a report, Ella, that they were considering shutting down 85 southbound. As you can see, this is live, by the way, as we speak. They have not shut down I-85, but I'm counting at least 2, maybe even 3 lanes. Look at that truck that's passing by and how high up the water is going to that truck. So at least 3 lanes of traffic. This is 85 southbound before Jimmy Carter as you're leaving Norcross headed toward DeKalb County. And Ella, you're right. We've had some minor flooding throughout the roads all over Metro Atlanta this morning, but this is by far the largest flooding that we're seeing. So we really ask you to avoid this particular stretch of Gwinnett County, and we'll keep you up to date on that closer to home as we continue to track this tornado warning as meteorologist Fred Campagna joins us as well.
Fred?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. I can tell you, I just came in, just drove in.
Yeah.
A lot of ponding on the roadways. But what we're seeing out there in Oconee County right now, that is heading up into Walton County. That's definitely what we need to be focused in on, which is this tornado warning that is still in effect as this storm, as this cell is moving through North High Shoals right now. So you can still see there is some circulation detected there on the radar. No doubt this is moving north, basically north-northwest at about 30 miles per hour. And as you guys were just talking about, a lot of these spin up really quickly and then go away. This one, though, has not. It has maintained its rotation for the last 15 to 20 minutes here. So continue to watch that very closely, along with all the heavy rain that we were expecting. It was just coming down in sheets this morning. I know you guys were in here covering it, but as someone who was out there in it, at least driving into work, it was absolutely just torrential.
Yeah, and here is the flash flood warning, okay? This is for most of Metro until 2:45 p.m. This includes Clayton, Cobb, DeKalb, Fulton, Gwinnett, Henry, and Rockdale counties. These areas have seen anywhere between 1 to 4 inches of rain in spots, and this is an area that much of the roadways or much of the surface area is covered by concrete, which means the rain's not going to run off. It's going to pooling on the sides of the road. So if you live in Metro Atlanta, generally, and you can stay off the roads for the next couple of hours, a really good idea to do so. With widespread flash flooding, we've been talking about it really all morning. This was the biggest risk as this storm moved through. And as you can see, the heavy rain is still moving across Metro. It's really now focused to the north of the city. But let's get back really quickly to the tornado warning, which is out until 9 a.m. That's for the next 17 minutes. For northern, this is actually now moving out of Morgan County into Oconee County. Rodney, I'm going to let you take back over the radar. I'm going to jump back in here.
And they're saying, Ella, well, so they've just canceled this warning. I was going to say they decided to not extend the warning. You can still see rotation, but Ella, as you've explained, it's gotten a little bit broader, a little bit bigger, not as tight as it was before. So at the moment, they have decided to cancel the tornado warning early.
And I also do want to mention that, again, the tornado watches out until 1 p.m., but I'm going to stop this and zoom in. It's this line that all day, it's now actually broken up a little bit, but it's this line right here that's actually moving counterclockwise that has been spawning these brief tornadoes all morning. So as that lifts up into the mountains, we're going to continue to see the threat there for tornadoes through the morning. So really, if you live from Athens to Gainesville up into the mountains, this includes Banks County, Jackson County as well, you need to be on high alert for these brief spin-up tornadoes. And actually, this is probably going to go over into North Metro as well. Again, tornado watch out until 1 p.m. for Metro Atlanta. We have now seen the tornado warnings canceled. There is a flash flood warning for all of Metro, including the entire area inside of the perimeter. Very heavy rain still falling, and that's going to be the story as we head through the rest of the afternoon. Rodney, is there anything else you want to mention before we get going?
Yeah, absolutely. First, I want to point out, if we can go back to this shot of 85, that's becoming a big deal here. So we cannot stress enough, if you were watching or listening in Gwinnett County, this obviously is not normal for the water to rise that much on the actual interstate. So a big alert for those of you. 85 southbound, this is before Jimmy Carter. As you are leaving the Norcross area, we do still have some pretty good flooding there in the right-hand lane. So a heads up to you. Also, Ella and Fred, a brand new flooding report just coming in from Glade Road in Ackworth. Somebody saying that road looks like a lake. So that's another location in Ackworth, that's North Cobb County, that you should look out for. And Ella, you were mentioning, we actually brought up this flooding video, and then you mentioned the new flash flood warning.
Yeah, here is the flash flood warning. If we can go back to Max 1, this is for Cobb, DeKalb, Fulton, and Gwinnett. This is for all of these highly populated areas of Metro. 2 to 3 inches of rain has already fallen, and we're expecting another inch or inch and a half of rain over the next hour. The flash flood warnings until 2:45 p.m. So if you can stay off the roads through the early afternoon, a really good idea to do so. Again, we also are under a tornado watch. I'm going to show you that watch very quickly. This extends until 1 p.m. for Atlanta and Metro and areas north. We will be watching this. We have 3 meteorologists here. We will keep you updated with the latest online and through CBS 46. You love that. We were not just, I was not on air, was I just now then?